Hey guys, so I already started this page before I realized I wanted to make a video of it. So I was showing you at the top I started with a darker blue, and here's the colors I'm using. The darker Admiral blue, and then I slowly transitioned to a sky blue, then a sky blue mixed with white, and a sky blue mixed with a little more white to have it like an ombre effect in the background. And these are my colors I picked for my grains of wheat. So I've already got one going. The verse we're working on says, do not grow weary in doing good, that in due time, in due season, you will reap, if you faint not. So I thought this would be perfect for like some grain and harvest. And I think the colors are really pretty. So I'm using a brown to make my stem, and I just draw that, just a straight, or not really straight, but a line coming up. And I'm using this really small tipped paintbrush, and I dipped my brush in the brown, the beige, and the gold before I started making these tiny swipes. And the thing about these strands of grain is that not unlike a feather, what a feather, it feathers out and gets bigger towards the bottom, because this is kind of like how you paint a feather, but these stay the same size from top to bottom. The swipes don't get bigger as you go down. So that's something to keep in mind. And every time I dip my brush in the brown, the beige, and the gold, and occasionally I dip it into the white as well before I start making my swipes. I put all the colors on my brush. And you just make those tiny, tiny swipes, repetitive little motions. You start at the stem and you fan out with those swipes, just little swipes, all the way down to the bottom. Now that I have one strand of grain, I've shown you the technique. I'm going to do these others kind of quickly. I used gold and brown and beige on this grain strand of wheat, and I decided to go in because I didn't realize I didn't go all the way to the bottom of the page. So that's important because the whole piece is going to be covered with the little swipes. So this one that I'm doing, I just did beige and brown because I wanted this one to be darker, because not all of these plants look the same. They'll have a little bit different shading, and then the light hits them differently. So that one's just brown and beige. And this one I'm also doing mostly brown and beige. You start at the middle and swipe out. And you notice I'm letting them run into each other. They're kind of scattered. They're not in any type of order. And short and tall, they're not all the same size. They're all different. Now here's where I've got all of my grain. And I just wanted to show you. These were like brown and gold, white and beige. These were like brown and beige. And then one I did just in beige and one mostly in gold, because I thought they should look a little different and vary just a little bit in color. Now we're going to the lettering, and I'm using a brown micron pen size 3, and I'm making very thin lettering to do part of the verse and emphasize different words. I'm going to use my gold gel pen. I emphasized weary and reap and faint. And I like to go back over those words I'm trying to emphasize and make them have a little bit thicker downstrokes. Make them stand out a little more. I had a hard time fitting the lettering, so I keep going back and make sure I'm writing the verse right, and I actually didn't write it exactly right. I paraphrased a little, but I had to switch up my writing just a little and do some print so I could get it all to fit, because I've gotten used to my larger Bible. That's why it may be a good idea to sketch it out with pencil first. I usually don't do that, but sometimes when I'm in my lettering, I wish that I had, because it doesn't fit well. And I kind of had to move the words around those grain strands. And here is our finished page. Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Thank you. And I hope that you are able to add this to your own journaling Bible. I used acrylic paints on this and a gel pen and a micron pen. Thank you. Have a good day.